The purpose of this resource is to provide guidance for utilizing scaffolds that are embedded in your EL Education District curriculum. Scaffolding is an instructional method that progressively moves students toward greater independence and understanding during the learning process. It is a temporary support that acknowledges what students already know, the barriers they will face in achieving new learning goals, and the instructional support that will benefit them in negotiating those barriers. Throughout this learning opportunity, we'll focus on examples of scaffolds that already exist within EL education lessons using Lesson 3 from Grade 5, Module 1, Unit 3. An EL Education Scaffold Overview document for elementary ELA grades 2 through 5 can be found in Learning Central under the appendix within each grade level module and in the teacher planning tools for your grade level curriculum. Please refer to this document for additional supports as you plan. The lesson components listed on the slides are where you can locate embedded scaffolds within lessons and will be highlighted throughout this presentation. This lesson continues a series of lessons in which students analyze the elements of plot in Miguel's monologue to build expertise about narrative text and understand what a monologue is. In this lesson, students analyze and plan the middle of their individual monologues. During work time A, students participate in a language dive. The conversation guides them through the meaning and the order of events of a sentence from Miguel's monologue. Each lesson provides a section of supports for English language learners, but these strategies may be helpful to all students regardless of language proficiency. Students are given the opportunity to act out their group's selected event from Esperanza Rising, which helps ELLs make the connection between language and meaning, and allows teachers to assess how well ELLs understand the language. Continue to use the color coding system established in Lesson 2. The universal design for learning is a way of thinking about teaching and learning that helps give all students an equal opportunity to succeed. In this lesson, students use a model text to write the middle of the monologue, facilitate comprehension by using a color coding and additional visuals to make the connections clear. Provide choice in planning their writing. Allow students to use bullet points, jot, sketch, or write full sentences. And remember, it is always good to offer choice in how students report their progress when they are reflecting and evaluating themselves. The vocabulary focus for this lesson are the words persevere, middle, and the phrase responded to the event, and persevere to your word wall and the academic vocabulary list. Possibly act out what responded to the event means and give several examples from Esperanza Rising of characters responding to different events. Relate to students' lives by giving possible events in students' lives and having students explain how they would respond to it. In Opening A, for students who may need additional support with memory, have them turn to an elbow partner and retell their group's selected text. As groups discuss the gist, have students sketch a quick image of the main events, and then they can reference it as they act it out. Model and think aloud the process of identifying and labeling the parts of Miguel's monologue that show how the narrator responds to the event or situation. For example, in the third paragraph, Miguel says he felt a rush of relief when he saw Esperanza come out of the house. I will write feels next to this sentence and will write Miguel feels relieved when he sees Esperanza on the graphic organizer. Remember, some students may need a modified version of the narrative writing checklist and the organizer. These may provide support visually for students organizing their writing. Students can color code the organizer the same way they did the model monologue. Language dives challenge students of all levels and are great for teaching above grade level students to really dig into language and grapple with meanings. In the language dive, instruction will focus on just one complex sentence from the text. These language dives are worth the time put in, as students will become better readers and writers having taken part in them. Students will deconstruct then reconstruct the sentence using different strategies suggested in the teacher guide. Writing these on separate sentence strips to manipulate them on the board is a great kinesthetic activity. Encourage rich conversation among students about the meaning of each of the sentence strips. Monitor and guide conversation with total participation techniques and conversation cues. Notice the other strategies listed below. Sketching, students repeating others, and a lot of turn-in talks. Scaffolding is an instructional method that progressively moves students toward greater independence and understanding in the learning process. Refer to the EL Education Scaffold Overview for grades 2 through 5 for additional resources that provide further support when planning for and implementing instruction. As a reminder, additional resources and professional learning can be found in Learning Central under the appendix within each grade level.